Judgment-free zone here. How many of you have never changed your strings on your ukulele? Because you're afraid you're gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it!
Or how long has it been? Months? Years? Decades? Today, we're going to be learning how to change your strings on a slotted, hybrid, drill-through bridge that Enya has adapted for most of their ukuleles. It's definitely faster than a traditional tie block bridge, and it's not intimidating at all, especially on these Nova series ukuleles from Enya. If you are ready to change your strings on this particular model of ukulele, then keep watching. Before we get into how to change the strings, how can you tell that your strings need to be changed? Typically, you should change your strings every 6 months, but how do you really know when to change your strings? 1, if your string is not maintaining its tuning, it's time to change your strings. 2, if the string has lost its sparkle, it's lost its tone, or its luster, it's time to change your strings. And 3, look at the string. So this is the old string. I don't know if you can see that where it's lighter. That's where the string has been wearing down on the fret. Like, yeah, time to change your strings. Next, I loosen the strings and make sure that there's not a lot of tension. You could either unwind the string and then feed it through the hole and take the string out. Or what you could do is that you just slacken the string, make sure that it's slack enough so that when you cut the string with the wire cutters that it doesn't come and snap you back in the face. That's why it's important to make sure that your strings are loose enough, they're slack enough before you go cutting, okay? Maybe that's why I'm wearing my glasses right now. This is really dirty. You can see that it really does need to be cleaned. Because it's made of carbon fiber composite, aka fancy plastic, all it needs is a microfiber damp cloth. You don't have to condition the fretboard because it's not made of wood. Long story short, if you're not sure about like some sort of compound that you're gonna use or a cleaner, just don't use it. Don't use it. You don't want to do anything that might be irreversible. So good old water. I think that's gonna do just fine. I'm gonna go wipe this. That is looking so much better. Look at all that was on the fretboard. Look how nasty that is. Hopefully you can see that difference. I mean, whoa. That's much better. Wouldn't you agree? My goodness. Next, I find the corresponding string to the correct slot. Then I find the end of the string, it doesn't matter which one usually. I tie a knot, and depending upon the size of the hole and the slot, sometimes a double knot is suffice, maybe even a triple knot. I put it through the hole, feed it through the little slot, and then gently, the word is gently, tug the string to make sure that it's not going to slip out of the slot. And if you're having trouble, you could take a pen, or you can find something thin enough where it'll fit down through the body. This hole's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna take a little screwdriver and just gently encourage it to go down. Gently. Ah, perfect. Look at that. The reason why I said gently is because these are nylon strings. If you tug on them too much, what happens is that you're going to create a flat spot. You know, it's like you take a piece of chewing gum and you pull it, and the thin part is in the middle, and then you have two thicker sides on each side. The same thing can happen to the strings, and then your strings are not going to be in tune no matter what you do, and then you have to change your strings again. Tugging on the string too much. I'm not gonna cut it right here. I'm gonna cut it like around here so that there's enough room. I always leave myself a little extra room just in case. You know what I mean. Okay, I'm gonna put it down in the hole. Oh, that's so easy. I feed the other end of the string through the corresponding tuning peg hole, and I start to wind the string. I have to hold the end of the string in place until there's enough tension to keep it from slipping as I wind. I'm not going to bring it completely tight like this. I'm going to give it some room. You want to give it some room, all right? Because you still need enough slack to wind it around the post. Please take note of the direction of which you're turning your strings, or like before you even remove your strings, make a note of it, and it really helps you once you're changing your strings, because then you won't be confused.
Pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever!
first, the string is going to want to pop out of the tuning peg, and it may want to pop out of the slot. There you go. It's like something might want to pop out. So I'm just trying to go slowly so that it catches. Oh, gotta make sure it's in the right spot. As I wind the string, I make sure that the string is winding around the tuning peg from the top down. Crossing the string over itself not only looks messy, but could cause the string to slip in tuning over time. Typically 2 to 4 windings around the post should do it and keep the string from slipping when you tune and wind. So I take my finger, just gently press down so that everything is winding below. Doesn't have to be perfectly in tune because the string is going to need to stretch out and settle anyway. So I just like to get it to a point where it sounds like an actual note, and be very careful when you clip so that you don't clip this part and you don't undo all the work you just did. So I'm going to tune it up just to get within the vicinity. Now what you want to do is that you want to gently stretch your strings out. So I'm going to take my thumb, place it on top of the string, and then my index finger is going to hook underneath, and I'm just going to gently pinch the string little by little, and then I tune it again, and then I play it, and I keep doing that with every single string. I gently stretch them out, those little teeny tiny pinches like I talked about flat spots before. You don't want to crank on the string, just little teeny tiny pinches, and that will release the tension and just loosen the strings out. It may take a few days of playing and retuning and gently stretching out those strings. I'm stretching, it's really just that little teeny tiny pinches on the string, and it may take some time to be able to get the strings settled, but the process is worth it. I hope that you enjoyed this process, and I hope it helped you realize how easy it is to be able to change your strings, and it's not intimidating at all. And if you're ready to change your strings for the first time but you don't have a Nova U, I have a separate video that will teach you how to change your strings step by step. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember, you are loved. Bye.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.